Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I'm as always Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. We got 17.
Yeah,
That's
shouts out, Big John.
bit defeating. But you know, Io also first Joshi wrestler to ever win at WrestleMania. Because they fucking hate Asuka. Apparently, I didn't even know that shit. Like that's kind of crazy. Asuka's been around for 10 years and not a single Mania win. But yeah, we're here to talk about plenty of stuff because it's the dawn of the final week.
Yeah, we are approaching the end of
In many
Tam
ways.
Road and the beginning of the return of the Queen. Well, I don't know if she's a queen. Never won anything. But Jungle Kyona appears to be on the comeback trail. So, big week for both companies. So,
You just completely cut out.
There that says
You
I have no Wi-Fi.
nothing you said in the past 15 seconds.
Yeah, I just noticed on my computer it was like, "Oh, your Wi-Fi thing is gone." And I was like, "No, it's not. It's here. My Wi-Fi is downstairs."
Bro, this is so there's an internet thing going on because like I don't know. I completely off topic. I apologize. But there was like this huge like allegation thing that happened yesterday. And then somebody was like, "Wait, but they never said it was that person." And then today turns out it's a completely different person. So like 6 people just like went through. It was very funny stuff. Not funny, it's terrible, but
They were very vague about
very
that.
interesting stuff. Yeah, well, so okay. Well, now, so a Twitch streamer, everybody was like, "Oh, this Twitch streamer groomed someone,"
Oh, no.
and then because the person was talking about like how grooming works or whatever, and everybody's like, "Oh, so she's talking about how she got groomed by this Twitch streamer that she is friends with," and then that is just a thing for like 2 days, and then today she's just like, "No, that's not what that meant. The fuck just happened."
Right. Yeah,
It was
that's
a whole
pretty
crazy
weird.
thing, and like there was like now it's trending on Twitter. I was like, oh boy,
That's
but
Twitch
it's
in a nutshell.
yeah, no,
Very
exactly. That's the
insane
thing.
place. Okay.
Fascinating place.
Yeah, I noticed like as I was talking, the little symbol for my Wi-Fi was like, "No, your Wi-Fi is gone." And I was like, "No, it's not."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
Frankly,
was
we
fun.
should probably just start over, but like we're not going to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We'll be all right. Big week for everything. Jungle Kyona might be back. Tam Road might be finished. But we have to get into it. I
That's
will
a big
plug
might.
the
I'm actually,
website.
we actually have I have fears.
Okay. Head on over to the 5-star-network.com for all of your latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as shows like Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling, go up. Dylan has plugged No Limit enough. You guys know what's coming. There's a Mako episode. There'll be an Anai episode. Keep your eyes peeled. That is the plug. We have no time. So, since Stardom is the only company that ran last week, we're going to start with them. Also, I think Yokohama Arena does trump a Korakuen in terms of importance. So, probably best to start with Stardom either way.
Just a tad.
Yeah. So, for Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom, they did a lot. It was WrestleMania week. We tried to cover all of it last week. I think ultimately WrestleMania week for everything just went down like a blunt squib. Like it was all like, oh, that was all fine. As I kind of mostly said it would be. Completely over Mania week myself. It's either bad or mediocre for the most part. But Stardom did have allegedly one of the better matches when Hazuki beat Lane Cross for the Spark Joshi World Championship. Very few people saw this because Spark Show wasn't on one of the like bundles where everybody else was running, so a lot of people weren't able to buy it. But those who did watch it, because it obviously streamed live, I think a lot of stuff was streamed live on the website. Everybody knows. But yeah, for the people who did
And
see
in like
Hazuki
Discords and
versus
shit.
Lena,
Yeah.
yeah, that too. But the people who did see Hazuki versus Lena said it did live up to expectations and was a very strong match, which we knew.
Which, you know what? It actually didn't stream on that thing on the site you just alluded to, because I
Oh, really?
checked, and yeah, they apparently the person who was trying to stream it, it didn't work. So unless you were in a Discord where somebody who bought it, was streaming it, or you bought it yourself, there's no way that you have seen it effectively, as far as I
Okay.
know. Because yeah, I remember checking. I was like, oh, they like the Spark, because there was like 6 shows on at the same time. I was like kind of
Yes.
shocked that somebody was streaming Spark, but yeah, they weren't. They were streaming Gaia because they couldn't get the Spark show to run or whatever. So yeah,
Okay.
very few people saw that.
Um, yeah, that's quite sad, but it was apparently good, and Hazuki did win, which is kind of
Mm.
surprising. But I suppose Lena is heading back to Japan. I know she was announced for the Mako show, so that's pretty
Hazuki finally
cool.
gets a singles title.
She
Um,
does, and she met Kelly Kelly, which is even more important.
that was the biggest moment of the entire weekend.
Yeah.
Um, I was so happy for her. She was crying her eyes out, and like she was like posting on like threads that she was like, I literally couldn't breathe. I was fucking bawling my eyes out. What the fuck? This is a dream. Like, she was just so excited. Also, one of her favorite wrestlers, like, people always bring up the Kelly Kelly thing. Her other favorite wrestler is John Cena. So she had a
Oh,
great
nice.
weekend.
Yeah. Good for Hazuki.
um,
She deserves it.
yeah, tremendous weekend. She posted a video of her going crazy when he won the 17th, um, in the crowd, of her
That's
going
cool.
crazy in the crowd. So yeah, great weekend for Hazuki. She also got announced for Catch the Wave, which we will talk about.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
I'm down for that.
big weekend for her. Um,
Um, Lady C was on Fortune Dream, which is a pretty cool thing for
mm,
her. I think her side lost the mixed tag, but
probably.
obviously being on Fortune Dream is cool. You know, Kenta Kobashi is still a pretty big name, and anybody who's on that show is usually generally respected by him. But I thought there was some interesting tweets by her where I was like, I really felt the power of Puroresu, and I'm gonna be able to get better from this one. So that was nice for Lady C. Um,
Oh, one other thing, that because I know we're just kind of like running through this real quick.
yeah.
Um, I did like the Shuri main event from Marvelous. I like the entire Marvelous show. The Marvelous show
Oh,
was
dude,
probably the
crazy.
best show of the weekend. Sanka and Aja, obviously,
Yep.
like, incredible.
Best
Uh,
of the best, best ever.
Jungle Empress, or Jungle Emperor rather, literally like sent chills down my spine. It was
Mhm.
incredible. Um, and just the entire match was great, and I thought the entire show was really good. Quite liked most of it. Even like one of the weaker matches, like I thought Sora versus Nyla was kind of weak, but Nyla getting to wrestle was nice. She's
Yeah.
gonna want to do her bits because she hasn't wrestled in a year, because nobody books her. So yeah, top to bottom, really big fan of that show, and I thought that Shuri and Takumi getting some minutes in was fun. And it's not something we're going to see very often, because obviously Marvelous is more so with Marigold. Um,
I assume
so
Nagayo hates them for re-signing Mace
and for
considering she
regularly
like
using Kohaku. Mhm.
yes, that too. Yeah, she made them all disappear for a little bit. Um, the only other kind of notable thing from Mania Week was that Micah won on Bloodsport. She was the only
Mm.
non-WWE wrestler to win a match against a WWE wrestler because she's got that kind of motion. And Karen Petrovic is like a loser on NXT. It was a very short match as well. They just kind of did the thing, and Micah just beat her. She didn't even do judo stuff. She just kind of went, "Nope,
She
Peckers,
did
I win."
one. She did one judo throw out of a full guard, which I thought was
Yeah,
cool. But that was literally the only judo thing she did.
yeah, it was
Um,
pretty beast.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that, and the Natty versus Miyu match.
That
Those were the
rocked.
two
Yeah,
matches you should probably check out, even if you aren't a big Bloodsport fan. Uh, Bloodsport continues to disappoint me, so
yeah.
you know,
What are the chances Natalia works Stardom or Marigold this year at the rate she's going?
hi.
Yeah, and
I would say
I
hi.
for
I mean, she
one,
was
am
she
here for
was
it.
she was backstage at the Stardom show.
Yeah,
Um, she was hanging out with the peeps back there. Honestly, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. We've talked about it a lot. That's like, Natalia fundamentally is very good, but I mean, frankly, I don't think she can ever have a good WWE match again, because
no,
I don't think it works. Like
does
like
not.
this match between her and Miyu, where Natty was just fucking palm striking her in the goddamn face. Like, that wouldn't translate. Shayna has tried to do that. That doesn't translate on Monday Night Raw ever. Um, so like, please give me more Natalia outside of WWE. I mean, I'm excited for her versus Kenzie Page.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
gonna watch
I love Kenzie
NWA.
Page.
Like, I'm gonna watch NWA because that sounds like a really great match, legitimately. Um, and yeah, I mean, like Natalia and TJ, and Tyson Kidd, both like really strong workers who, uh, Kidd for obvious other reasons, but they just never really got to. They always seemed like they would have done better elsewhere, and
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
Natalia
feels
did. I
like we'll
mean, her
never get
Shimmer
that.
tapes are like
Yeah,
exceptional. She actually had
I mean,
charisma
even
and everything in those, and it's like, where did this go? Like, how did this all get sucked right out of you in WWE? Like, where did your entire vibe go?
And I mean, you
Um,
listen to like to Hoda and Inoue, Kyoko Inoue, and they're both like, yeah, she was like a fucking prodigy when she
yeah.
came over. And that was like her first time wrestling. Like she was a few months in when she went to Japan for the first time. And they both have been like, yeah, she was fucking insane.
Mhm.
There's not a ton of her out there from A to Z and whatnot, but uh like like yeah, like she really was a different animal. So I'm actually quite, I would love to see Natalia or Natty, since she goes by that on the indies. uh I'd love to see her in Stardom or Marigold at this point. It'd be really fun.
Yeah. All right. That's most of the good stuff from Mania Week. Nothing else really I thought was all that good. Earlier today, it was confirmed that three Stardom Masters will be in Catch the Wave this year.
Hmm.
Catch the Wave is happening in early May, which is a lot earlier, I think, than it usually
Oh shit.
happens. It's usually a summer thing, but it is
Yeah.
starting in about 2 weeks. The three are Hazuki, Rani Agami, and Akira Kuragane, which I think is pretty cool. They've said they're going to be 9 blocks, so God knows how they're going to format Catch the Wave this year. You're probably going to get
Do,
Hazuki going through her block, and maybe
nobody is there like an official like all of the blocks,
yes. Well, no, not the blocks, just
or not
the
the blocks? Okay.
competitors. Yeah.
Well,
They
okay,
got some
because
deep
usually
cuts though. They got Mio Shirai. They got Mari Manji.
they got
It's
Mio.
yeah, Mio Shirai's in it.
That is insane.
Yeah,
See,
Yuki
no, the
Nishiro too.
thing The thing is that they used to do it where they would put like, oh, these are the bunch of people who are wrestling in the standard blocks. These are the
Yeah,
future blocks. These are the
yeah.
Diana blocks. Like, I
Akira is probably
wonder,
in a
or
future
not
block.
Diana. Yes, definitely. Rana
The
might
Elizabeth
still be
block.
too. Yeah, the Elizabeth, not
They might
Diana.
do a striker
Um,
block for Rana. Sometimes they do striker block.
I would love if they did the like style blocks again. But yeah, no, I with 9 blocks, I imagine there will probably be like 2 future blocks, one Diana block. Why do I keep saying that? One Elizabeth block, and 6 standard blocks.
Maybe. Who's to say? It's Pro Wrestling Wave.
Yeah,
I don't know how their minds work. But
strange
that
company.
is pretty cool. That furthers my thought that Hazuki got offered a different type of deal because she does seem to just be working more outside shows than Stardom these days, and
Which I
seems to
mean,
be
hilariously,
prioritizing those.
like this might be the first year that Hazuki is able to have like a real Wrestler of the Year bid, because she will actually have singles matches outside
Yeah,
of the 5 star for the first
yeah,
time ever. She's never held a singles belt, pretty much,
pretty crazy. Um, with that
since
though, we should probably
2019.
get on to the news. They announced another match for the Natsupoi and Shiori anniversary show. This is basically a Stardom promoted show. Stardom is promoting it the entire time, and it is teacher-student tag match, female wrestling of the heart and soul. Yumika Hoda and X take on Kiri Ito and X, and it's basically been pitched as it's going to be the best students of both of these wrestlers, which might make it difficult
Mm.
because Hoda's best student is probably Miku Aono, as we said last week.
Yeah, uh,
um, I don't
one
know
of
if
them,
she's
yeah.
allowed to work this show. Ito is obviously Sari. There is like it's her or Hanako Nakamori are the only two like exceptional Ito dojo people, and even then, Sari isn't an Ito dojo.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
think she
no,
was just
no.
partially trained by
So,
Kyoto.
the thing is that Ito also trained the late stages of AJW, and a lot
Oh,
of Diana.
yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
I forgot about Diana.
Uh, so yeah, so she has a way deeper bag than like in terms of trainees, but I imagine this is meant to be like young trainees, like active current trainees. So it's not going to
Mm,
be like fucking you know, uh, Kumiko Mikawa. Wait, no, Mikawa debuted super early.
Yes,
Who's a
she's
late?
like she was
You know what I
before
mean? You know what I mean? It's
Kirito,
not
I'm
gonna
pretty
be
sure.
some 2000 AJW trainee. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like something like that. So yeah, I think Ito. So it should be Sari. Sari just makes the most sense. Yeah, Hoda's an interesting one because I mean, you could, depending on what you mean by best, you could get someone like, Sha, Saka Toyota. Like if you want to be like really like, like, hey, she's gotta be the best type thing.
Mm,
Um, but realistically, yeah, I mean, unless you're getting Miku, you're probably wrong.
yes, I would agree. Maybe it's Asuka. Let's get Asuka in.
Well,
She was A to Z, wasn't she?
yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
I don't think she was trained by Hoda though. Oh
But
yeah,
Hoda
speak.
owned the
Oh,
company.
we'll talk about that. I totally forgot that we have to review those shows.
Yes.
I just
Yes,
felt like
we
we just
do.
like brushed them off, but yeah, because I was about to say, oh yeah, we forgot to talk about something bad about WrestleMania weekend, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's all for the news as far as I can see. They didn't really have much happening because they were in America.
Saya Kamitani hit Tam with a car.
Yeah, that's pretty chill. She got her driver's license just to do it, which I think is incredible. Next
That's
level
good as well.
hatred. But yeah, we should just get this out of the way. There's two shows to review. Um, First was Stardom American Dream 2025 in Sin City. I believe they didn't actually ever announce the attendances for these shows, so I can't go through them.
Probably
Even
for the
Shiro
best.
didn't have announced attendances, and Stardom's website doesn't either. And Stardom's website also does not want to translate for me right now, which is pretty fun because there's no pictures for some of the wrestlers. Um, this is great. It literally won't translate, so I'm gonna have to go to cage match. 'Cause technology does not love me the way I love it. Right. Stardom American Dream 2025 in Sin City. Azumi and Ram Kaichao beat Maserati and Starlight Kid in 12 minutes. This was fine. It was even the Azumi Kid stuff was very pedestrian. But Maserati was kind of cool. So yeah.
I swear I watched all of these shows. I
Hmm.
could not tell you a single thing about this match
That's fair. Jody Threat and
except
Suzu
for the
Suzuki beat.
Starlight Kid. I
Yeah.
could tell
Okay.
you that.
Jody threatened Suzu Suzuki beat Erica Damia and Unagi Sayaka. Um, I thought Jody and Suzu looked like a good team. Erica, as I thought, had some like decent strike exchanges, but overall was a bit too raw for this kind of thing. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I like Erica Demia. Erica
yeah.
Demia. I know it's yeah. Uh, I like what she could be. I think she has a cool look. And
Mhm.
she wasn't bad.
No, yeah,
Um,
she was all right.
she struggled to keep up, because Jody's kind of insane and Suzu's kind of insane.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I thought it was fine. I think she could be good down the line. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love Suzu and Jody together. I think I tweeted this. I genuinely think that Jody should be flown over
Oh, for sure.
for like, to be
Do a
Suzu's
tour.
second or something like
Forget
that.
TNA. It needs
Yeah,
TNA.
please. Please forget Tina.
Our next one was Hanan and Saida beating Hazuki and Kelsey Heather. There was
Which is
a
good.
singular cool strike exchange from Hanan and Hazuki. Um, that was very memorable. But
Even
Kelsey
even in
Heather
America,
was yes,
even in
in America.
America, Hazuki the match ends and Hazuki walks away without
Yeah,
making eye contact with Hanan. While
incredible.
Hanan's trying to do the stare down. She's like, "No, I'm not doing it. Fuck you."
Love that. Kelsey Heather was cool. As I said, I thought like she's good at like selling. I think that really showed across both shows. And she can keep up as well athletically. Like she is quite athletic in her own right. So even when it was with Ida, she was able to keep up.
Yeah, I didn't think she was very good on this show. Like, I thought she was fine, but I thought the Shuri match I saw what people were so excited about
Yeah.
a bit more so.
Hanako and Minashi Kawa beat Momo Watanabe and Natsuko Tora. This was fine as well. Just heel beat down, a face comeback. All right.
Yeah, you know.
Mina is over. That was
Momo's over.
Yes, as always. Syria and Vipers beat Kali and Tita and Konami in 12 minutes. Another okay match. Kali and Tita, as I said, very raw. Definitely needs a lot more reps, but isn't bad. And Vipers
Once
was just
again,
kind of there.
I cannot tell you.
Yeah, that's fair. Micah beat Tekla in 17.5 minutes. I felt bad because Tekla is usually good at like throwing her strikes and slapping the leg at the right time, but the production on the show was so god awful, you couldn't hear the strikes in the ring. So everything they were doing was made even more boring because it was silent. And so basically they were never gonna have a good match in this
I
setting.
thought this was
And
fine.
it was fine, but like you couldn't, I don't know, even the
I
forearm
thought it was very
exchange weren't
long.
like visible. You couldn't hear them, you know? So
Yeah, it had its
mm,
problems. Oh,
yeah,
that's stuff.
not their fault,
I
but
yeah, I didn't think it was like demonstrably bad like it could have been.
yeah.
Like Tekla sometimes is. But it wasn't anything special.
Yeah, this whole first show was awful, production wise.
Yeah,
The commentary is bad, but I don't even blame the commentary because Bushiroad is in a position to pay people who know about the product, and Dan Barry does not know about the product. And nothing against Dan Barry, it's not his job. He's a wrestler. It's not his job to watch
yeah.
Stardom for this show. And the other guy, Jordan Castle, not his job to cover Stardom. I don't like the commentary was not good, but I also I don't blame the commentators themselves. It's not their
Yeah.
fault. It is on the
And I
company for
mean,
not paying people who know more about what's going on.
it is really frustrating, like I do, obviously I have a soft spot for my boy Walker, but like he
Oh,
definitely
he's
could have.
excellent.
He definitely, like and he isn't even like, the utmost expert on Stardom. And he gets things wrong sometimes, but like there is a genuine like care and desire to like get things right.
Yeah.
Um I'm not saying that there wasn't for uh Dan and Jordan Castle and Veda
Oh,
Scott
wait,
the
it
next
wasn't
day.
Jordan. It was Trevin
Uh
Adams, apparently. Sorry, I thought Jordan Castle did
oh,
Saturday. This one.
Jordan Castle did the next
He,
one
he did with
then.
Veda, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Which
know who Trevin Adams is.
yeah, me neither. But it's not like they didn't try. Like I'm not saying they didn't try or that they are like I think people got a bit
As somebody
kind of
who's watched
crazy.
old women's wrestling, I have heard much worse. Like at least they
Oh
were
yeah, I mean
respectful. Like that is
yeah,
the
they
base
used to
level.
do like for they would AJW would sell VHS tapes to American outlets, and the Americans would dub over, and they would basically just call Dump Matsumoto fat the entire match,
Hmm.
like that was their entire contribution to the show. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard worse, and I do think that people were kind of excessive about both you know the Stardom stuff and the TGPW stuff. Both very bad comment. Like the commentary wasn't good. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not defending it, but I saw people complain about the TGPW stuff today. And that
Oh
shit happened a
Jesus,
week ago. I was like, you
crazy.
guys need to calm down.
That was honestly the
Um,
least of the problems because the rest of the production was worse. Like you could hear
yeah,
the production guy yelling cues the entire show, and the ring audio was not working, so all of the strikes had
yeah.
no sound.
There was just so
Awful,
many
just
problems Mania weekend,
awful
especially from
show.
the collective,
Yeah.
which this
Oh,
show
dude,
was
the
the collective
collective.
show.
It's not.
Um,
The collective needs to
or
go
no,
away.
it wasn't. Yeah.
I don't think this
Sabu
was
would
the
probably agree.
collective. I think they just used
No, it
the
wasn't.
Spark leftover crew,
Yeah.
which is
It's
not
just
good either.
it was tough, and I not to dwell on it, but uh, friends of the show, Ring Post Radio, accidentally said that we gave notes for these shows. We did
Yeah.
not,
Yeah,
because
we
a
ain't
lot
about
of the
that.
notes were wrong. We wouldn't have
Yeah,
written wrong notes.
no,
Uh, no disrespect, but we wouldn't have done that. Shuri not trained by Konami. I don't know if you know.
no.
Um, I heard that over 4 shows, and I was like, I can't take
That's
this anymore.
crazy. How did that
Every
happen?
show Shuri was on, I was like, that's not what happened. She was trained by Chijiri. Please, it's literally on Wikipedia. Like you would have done better reading Wikipedia. But yeah, just a lot of problems there. But
Yeah,
also, fucking hire Walker next time, dude. Like, What are we doing?
We got on then to day 2, Stardom American Dream 2025 in Neon City, and this was part of the Defy crew, like Defy
The
West Coast and stuff. This was part of their
It was West
MO.
Coast DPW Prestige,
Yeah, and
and
you could
I think
tell
technically Defy.
because the production was good. Um,
Yeah,
and it was visible, and you could
atmosphere
hear
was
the
good.
ring. And
Yeah, vibes were good.
the commentary team I thought for day 2 was better. I don't
Mm,
generally love Veda Scott. Like I never really understood the Veda Scott's this amazing announcer stuff, but they do at least have an interest in Stardom that I think made
mhm.
it a lot better to listen to these two because Veda knew a lot more about what was going on within the company and was able to kind of not sound like an AI commentator, just going, "Here's a fact that I read on my notebook." I thought
Yeah.
it was a lot better. So day 2, I think, just from production, was more fun, just because it wasn't as awful to sit through.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
Um, we started them with Hazuki and Suzuki beating Mina Shirakawa and Rachel Rose. This is a weird way to send Mina off because they made a big kind of like point of this being her last ever Stardom match, and she did her babyface flurry, tagged out to Rachel. That was kind of it. Then Hazuki and Suzu just won. I was like, that is such an odd way to like send Mina off, you know?
Yeah, I loved her and Rachel together. I thought they were
Oh
fun.
yes, Rachel.
Um,
American promoters are so bad and dumb. Rachel, please come to Stardom full time.
yeah.
You are like the star is the that
She
is
also
your
got
ceiling.
married the day before, so I was like, "Dude, why are you working? Like, take the
No,
weekend
I
off."
mean take it.
Like,
Go
that's
go ahead,
fucking
queen.
that's grind shit, bro. I respect it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
she
no,
was
she
awesome.
was great. And I thought Hazuki and Suzu were great together. People who keep telling me that FWC should join Micah are fucking insane. Uh, please, like, just put him with Suzu. Um, but but yeah, no, I like this match. It was strange that this was like Mina's farewell. Also funny that Hazuki refused to show up for her gauntlet, and then they like she was her last
Yes.
like big standoff, and like they hugged after the match and everything. I was like, that was interesting. But yeah, no, I actually like this match. It was
That was good.
pretty much as good as, if not better than, every match on the Sin City show.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, no, I thought it was fun.
All right.
Rachel Rose, please work more. Book
Yes.
book Rachel Rose more.
Book Rachel Rose or Rachel, please come do Stardom full time. That would be
Yep.
nice. Siri then beat Kelsey Heather in 8.5 minutes. This was nice.
Hmm.
Kelsey, as I kind of projected, sold pretty well for Siri. It was a pretty cool stylistic matchup, kind of getting her babyface moments. But it was really nice to see Siri just lean into the I am a UFC fighter vibe. She was just trying to
Yeah.
rip this woman's arm off for most of the match, and it was really interesting to see her kind of embrace that.
Yeah. I quite liked it, and I think it works very well in America. Like just kind of being the uh I don't know. There's a different vibe you can bring, and I think Shuri
Hmm.
brings it well. Why Shuri wasn't on fucking Bloodsport is actually the funniest thing ever. Like, I know
She would make
Bloodsport
them all
sucks.
look bad.
Yeah, but really, like when you think about it, how have they not booked Shuri for Bloodsport yet? Um, she probably has seen it and is like, nah, that ain't real, man.
Yeah, I
I
respect
ain't,
it.
I ain't doing that shit. Konami can do that shit. Um, yeah, no, I thought this was quite good. I saw a lot of people saying Kelsey Heather should get a tour, and I'm not opposed.
Yeah, I think she'd be good as like a
She has
lower
the room
card
for it.
wrestler,
Yeah,
to take pins and stuff. I wouldn't
Alice
mind
Sinks
it.
type shit.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Scandinavian Hurricane.
hell yeah. We then had Clark Connors, Natsuko Tora, and Tekla beat Hanan Saida and the DKC in 14 minutes. This was all right. Like I don't know, it wasn't too bad.
Could have been worse,
Yeah,
definitely. I like Clark
DKC
Connors a
is
lot.
funny the first time you see him. I'd imagine, like the
Yes.
brain chop obsession. I was kind of giggling at, but
Yeah.
I could see it getting old.
See, I've seen him in Best of Super Juniors tournaments.
All
Um,
right, okay, I get it now.
so it's like even if you only watch two of his matches, it's like, oh, he's this guy's bad. Um, but yeah, no,
Don't
to
plan
be
on it
fair, I
working
also
second, so
yeah, no, that's fair. But
I'm
like I
safe.
said, I really like Clark Connors. I think Clark Connors
Hmm.
is really fun. I think he's kind of started to figure it out. He was a great babyface back in the day, and I think he's finally starting to figure out like the
Yeah,
heel
I
stuff
I
without
liked
being
him on
completely annoying.
I liked him on crossover. Like he's good at like being a shithead who gets beat up.
Yeah, no,
Like,
he's solid at that stuff.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's kind of what you get from
Mm.
this. Like when you look at the lineup, it's pretty much what you'd expect, except maybe a little better. Uh, it was
Small
just pretty bog standard.
They did an angle after that where Tekla beat up Kara Okada and was like, "Hey, I wanted my match with you and I didn't get it because you gave me Micah." Also, she hugged Micah after the match on the first day. We kind of ignored that, but her and Micah hugged and had a whole moment. And people were like, "Oh my God, is Tekla leaving?" But then she picked up her feud with Tara Okada. Clark Connors hit him a hell of a spear though.
Yeah,
Fair play on the spear.
I mean, dude, this is the second time that Clark Connors has been in a terrible Stardom angle where he just kills somebody with a fucking
Yeah.
spear, and it's like, well, I mean,
I like it. I like the
he
spear
got that
gaining
right.
relevancy in wrestling again because Braun Breaker was throwing them things as well.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers love a good spear these days. It's
Yeah,
great.
they're pretty cool. Yeah, that angle stinks. Why are you feuding with the Booker? It does not work. It has never worked in wrestling history, except for Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, because they were Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. So maybe don't do it. But yeah, that is what it is. Our next match was, in my opinion, match of the weekend for Stardom. Azumi and Johnny Robbie beat Maya World and Starlight Kid in 11.5 minutes. Surprisingly, Azumi won both previews on this one, which means she's getting stomped the fuck out at Yokohama Arena. But yeah, this is a pretty
Maybe.
strong match. Maya World and Azumi worked really well together.
Yes.
Get Maya World in, please.
Also really like
Somebody.
my world. Yeah.
The Kid Azumi stuff was also better on this show than on the first day. I feel like you could tell this is one of the last shows Kid worked because she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna move, like I'm gonna do stuff. My arm isn't gonna fall off." And Johnny Robbie and Maya had a good finishing stretch as well. So
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought this was definitely the best match of the two shows.
yeah, definitely. And then Hanako, Micah, and Megan Bain beat Konami, Momo Watanabe, and Calientita in just under 13 minutes. They made Megan Bain look like a monster, basically from start to finish, which was cool. Seeing her baby face is nice, and they sent the crowd home. Yeah, they sent the crowd home happy, and that's really all you need to do.
Yeah. A bit underwhelming, for the reunion of Divine Queendom. Uh, but can't complain too much.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that Micah ended both shows as like the ace babyface, sending them all home happy. I feel like in a likely post Tam world, you're gonna have Micah as the main babyface of the promotion. I think they really showed us it here this week that it's like we're all in on Micah, which we kind of knew. She did win the 5-star, but no, I think they made a very purposeful choice to have her main event both nights and win.
Yeah, man, I'm worried. I'm worried that we're just heading back to a Mike, like that Micah's just gonna beat Saya and nothing else matters. Like that's just where we're going. Year end.
Yeah, I know Momo like cost her team wins during this
Yeah,
week, and people were like, "Oh, she's turning babyface," but I have no hope in that. So
she's been doing that for like a year now.
yeah, that's why I was also
It's
saying.
kind
I
of
said,
it's kind of the Fraxium gimmick.
yeah,
I don't watch whatever the fuck that company is.
NXT.
Yeah, I don't watch that. But I have heard that they do that where every single match they have a miscommunication.
Yeah, they
Um,
they both constantly tweet Fraxium as okay, and I'm like, sure, cool,
and they have been like this
yeah.
has been a thing that's been going on for like 2 years, isn't it?
I
um,
I, I don't know.
yeah. But yeah, so I would love it if this was leading to a Momo turn and Momo, does something for once,
Yes.
but probably not. It's probably just Micah, man. Like that's the problem. Um,
Yeah, Micah probably. I think she's the most sensible to win from Kamitani. The big question is obviously then where do they go after that? Because you will need, I think, a first time winner after that, which I would be kind of interested in. But that's for another day. For now, we have two shows to preview. The first we're going to fly through. It is Stardom Nighter 2025 in Korakuen on April 24th. We open, again, this isn't translated, but I know the wrestlers' names by now, so it's not too bad. Natsupoi, Saori Ano, Sakura Kara, and Aya Sakura take on Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, Tekla, and Konami. Um, yeah, I mean, doesn't matter who wins
these
there.
hate openers always scare me. Like I'm always like, oh brother, I don't
Yeah.
like. This is gonna. This is gonna go
Gonna do a
like
promo or
6
an
minutes, and
angle
it's gonna
after.
suck, and they're gonna do an yeah, they're gonna do an angle. It
Yeah,
just sounds, not my jazz.
that's fair. We have our mandatory three-way match, second from the bottom. Momokogo, Yuria, and Fukigen Death, who is just fully back on Stardom cards now, and that's a likely win for Fukigen Death, where she's gonna roll up one of them.
Yeah, probably.
Lady C and Hina take on Rani Agami and Tomoka Inaba. That is a
Nice
preview
preview.
for Hina and Rana. That's gonna be a cool match, and Hina might win because I think Rana's won the last few previews, so maybe Hina gets one here.
Yeah, we could see. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Yuna Mizumori, Tabata, and Akira take on Momo Watanabe, Rina, and Azusa.
Okay.
Logical booking tells you Rina will win because she is in a singles
The
match
only
at
one booked.
Yokohama. Yeah. Um,
Remember when we thought Unimon was going to challenge for the belt at
yes.
Yokohama?
Time.
Yeah.
I lied. There is not a picture for one of the wrestlers in the next match, but I will
That's
guess.
Oka. That's Oka.
Maika, Wakasukiyama, Hanako, and Rian take on Chihiro Hashimoto, Yuna,
Eureka Oka.
and Eureka Oka.
Yeah.
That is cool. The Sendai crew is insane, and they will probably win because I imagine Maika is taking the belt.
Bro, I mean, Rihan's there, brother. Yuna can beat her.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. We have Mayu Utani, Hazuki, and Koguma taking on Siri, Hanan, and Sayaida. It is weird that they have a champion teaming with challengers on both sides instead of champion with champion and challengers with challengers. I don't know if they always do that.
No.
No. Siri probably over Mayu since Mayu pinned Siri on the last tour.
Well, okay, to be fair, they have it later in the show. They also do the champion and the challenger versus champion and the challenger.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know how this one goes. I mean, I could see Hazuki, like I could see Koguma rolling up like
Yeah,
Hanan or something.
maybe.
I
I
don't
think
really
Siri
expect
might want to
this.
get hers back on Mayu, though, because Mayu did beat her pretty definitively.
Yeah, but she's gonna get hers back when she wins the belt. Like let's
That's
let's
true. That's true.
let's be frank. But no, yeah, I could see either way. Really,
Yeah.
I don't think the result matters much here.
All right. Suzu
Because
Suzuki.
you'd also think FWC wants theirs back on Wingori because they've just been getting pwned the entire time.
Yeah, I suppose Koguma could get involved. I feel like she's been it's kind of there, so she
Yep.
might get involved now. Suzu Suzuki X and Double X take on Aisera, Miyu Misaki, and Kohaku. Yeah, that's interesting. I thought they might decide at least one of the X's on the tour, but they didn't. And I'm very unsure of who it could be, honestly.
Man, somebody
Like,
somebody gave like some guesses. I don't remember what they were.
I don't know. Like Jody Threat
Yeah.
could be one because I don't think TNA is running ever. Like they just do mass tapings. And they probably did them already. So she could be available. And the second one might just be a wrestler who turns earlier in the show or like leaves their group, maybe. I don't know.
Hanako does. Wait, she's champion. She can't do that.
I saw somebody say Rini Yamashita because her and Suzu go way back, but I don't know if Rini Yamashita would be
I think
available or
somebody.
do
Hold on.
this.
I'm trying to remember where the person said it. Cause yeah, I have no idea. I think somebody was like, maybe it's like Mio Shirai. And I was like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Mm.
But I think that might have been a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Tabata. Like maybe
Yeah.
maybe she walks out on Unimon.
The only
But wait,
ones
but
for sure
that
is
doesn't
that
really make sense.
I don't think it's Risa Sarah and Kurumi because they're booked for
They are both
freedoms,
book, yeah.
not freedoms, prominence that day.
I was kind of thinking it could be Unagi.
I don't think Nagi would be Suzu.
I don't know. I feel like I agree, but it would be something weird and strange, and that's kind of the
That's
MO.
true.
But yeah, I'm not really sure. I think unfortunately, you know what's a modern Stardom thing to do
But
for the three of them to come out of Meisera, Miyu, and Kohaku to come out, Suzu to come out, and Kohaku to turn and be a 2-on-2.
That, yeah. Although it would probably be Kevin. I don't
You
think
think
Ohaku
Kevin's
is.
turning?
Well, I don't think Ohaku can go heel. I think Wave wants her as a babyface. It would be very difficult to keep her heel in one
I don't know.
company and face in
Seriano
another.
did it. Also,
True,
Suzu isn't
true.
a heel. Like Suzu's
Kohaku's
like Suzu has
Kohaku's
the indie wrestling
different,
spirit.
maybe.
I
Kohaku
think
just
I
feels
think that's
different
more
though.
of the gimmick.
I
Yeah,
feel
no,
like
I get it.
Wave wants her to be like their champion next to beat Saya, so she kind of has to be on the good guy side.
Yeah, I don't know,
So it
but
would have
Suzu's a
to be
tweener.
Kevin. She also did say she wants to bring like the evil, dangerous
She
vibes
yeah,
back.
yeah,
So
she said that that hate were pussies.
yeah, like I
Um,
don't know about that one.
so yeah, I don't know. I don't. But yeah, I think the Cody Rhodes Ted DiBiase strat
Yeah,
of turning as the match, like I think that would be funny.
okay,
But yeah, I don't know. Who's to say? Well, will be
yeah.
interesting.
There's been no like recent departures from promotions, which usually kind of gives it away. Like everybody's just kind of been set for a while now. So
Yep.
oh, it's a Kari Noah. Let's get it. No reaction to Kari Noah. That's crazy.
I
Muted.
think she
Okay.
retired.
No, she did. She's a spa lady now, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, our
Here,
main
one second,
event.
one second, one second.
Well, our main event is a preview tag for the two singles matches at Yokohama Arena. It is Tam Nakano with Starlight Kid taking on Saya Kamitani and Azumi.
You know what's
Um,
crazy? This is just a 2020 Stars versus Queens Quest match.
yes, very fun. Very nice throwback. I'm sure Tam or Saya will pin the other because they've kind of been doing that for 6 months
In
now.
fact,
So,
I wouldn't be surprised if this match has happened before, like one to one.
um, maybe, maybe. Kid missed a lot of that year, didn't she, in 2020 when Saya was with QQ, and then Pam turned later that year anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Cosmic Angel started up in like October.
Yeah,
Um, like well, not started up, but like Mina joined, and so
yeah.
that
So
was
I
around
think
the
by
time.
the time Kid was back fully, she had already left, and Saya wasn't in QQ
Yeah,
long
true.
enough. So
This
may not have
this
happened.
has almost happened, but yeah, no,
Oh
it
yeah.
has not ever happened. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is that show. That is mostly just a preview for the big one, which we're going to get to now. It is on Sunday, April 27th. Card Fight Vanguard Divines presents All Star Grand Queendom 2025 from Yokohama Arena. Uh, Possibly one of the most prestigious venues in the history of Joshi wrestling. This is our Tokyo Dome, basically. Some of the most legendary matches of all time have happened in that venue. And here we are with a crazy good Stardom show, in fairness. We start with a Stardom Rumble Battle for Belt challenge on the pre-show. This is an as yet unannounced Rumble. Pretty
Mm.
much just going to have the entire
But
roster, I'd
it's
imagine.
just everybody that's not on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the winner gets the challenge for a belt. And you had pitched Momo winning and doing
Hmm.
a Batista thing where it's like, hey, don't challenge me. And then eventually she does challenge Saya and turns babyface, which I think would be really cool.
Because
And
I
it's
mean, like it's. I feel like this is the easiest way to do something like that
yeah,
without it being stupid. Because like,
especially since a lot of the more obvious challenges are on the show, like Siriano is
yeah, and
already on the card.
I think this is very. It would be a subtle way to do it. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
it's like I don't know. I think maybe this is too subtle for their taste, but I do think that it's very hard to warrant like Momo challenging Saya Kamitani,
yeah,
just outright without turning her yesterday so that we can get this ready and so I think this could be a cool way to set something in motion and like do something interesting is by um is by having her win a match that has nothing to do with hate whatsoever. It just so happens that oh, Saya Saya's looking like the best option here. I think that'd be the coolest way to do it. Um,
yeah,
though I will say Momo could also win this if Starlight Kid is hurt and Azumi needs to win the belt.
yeah,
She
yeah.
like
That's
that
true.
works. I mean, she could do it for either of them because Momo was former tag
Are they
partners with both
running
of them,
any
but
pay-per-views next month? I know they're in Fukuoka. Was that advertised as a pay-per-view?
no, I think that's just
Oh,
for Golden Week. Like I don't know if any of the
Right.
Golden Week stuff is pay-per-view, but it might be.
Yeah, because
Um,
I was gonna say you could maybe set up somebody for a pay-per-view, but I don't know when their next one actually is. It's in June, maybe.
um,
Because for May
Osaka,
they don't really do much.
Korakuen. Yeah, unless that wait no, on the
It's
Fukuoka,
probably
that's on the
Yoyogi
6th.
then in June is their next
They do
pay-per-view.
have the conversion.
No way. The conversion is
I have
back.
been told that the conversion is back, but I don't know when or if that's true.
That's in
I might have
June
been lied
as
to.
well. I think I just saw it. Yeah, that kind of rules out like your local challenger, I guess, if it's Yoyogi, like that they can just build that up as they want. I could see a world maybe where Tomoka Inaba wins, and challenges Kid because they did kind of tease that match
Mm.
briefly, and then they kind of went away from it. But
You
I
could
think
do that pretty
Inaba,
much anywhere. Yeah.
yeah, and Inaba could like realistically then challenge Shuri either if they really really wanted to. So I think Tomoka would be another one I might pick. Um,
Yeah.
but that's
I'm
really
I'm
it for the Rumble.
rooting for Big Momo though.
Hell yeah. We then go into a special singles match, Maysair versus Suzu Suzuki. I think Suzu has to win this one. I think you should kick off her turn with a big win over her adversary and kind of kick her on to the next level. So I would have her win there.
Yeah. And also that's the reason why this isn't a title match.
Yeah,
Just because she
probably.
needs to win. I mean, and also because they have stupid rules, but you know what I mean.
That's true. Then we have another special singles
Imagine a
match. It
blood
is
feud ending in a 10-minute best of 3 fucking
that would be
shitter. That would
awesome.
be so funny.
That would be awesome. We have a generational match here, which is Rina versus Yumiko Hoda. Um, if you've never had the pleasure of watching Yumiko Hoda, it is an experience. I think Rina is gonna do similar to Veni in that she's going to take the no selling stoicism and go, okay, then fuck you. And I think
Mm.
that's always the best kind of Hoda match is when somebody doesn't take her shit lying down and just kind of fights back. So I could see this one really being entertaining to me. I'd imagine Rina gets kind of over in defeat because you are not going to beat a former AJW champion. That carries a lot of weight, and Yumika Hoda held that belt. So yeah, she ain't losing.
Yeah, no, I agree. This could be a complete mess, but I hope it's cool.
Possibly. I think they actually announced. We didn't go over that. I think they announced Rina versus Veni as well for the Hana show. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes, they did.
Um,
I
that was
saw
very
that.
low key because I think they just said it in a tweet. They didn't do graphics or
Yeah,
anything.
Xavi told me, and I don't think
Oh,
I've even
because
seen
Rena said it in a
otherwise.
tweet. I don't even think the Hana
Okay.
show place posted it. Rena said it. So I think it was very under the radar. But yeah, I think they're doing Rena versus Veni on that show as the main event, which is pretty awesome. We then have one of Mako Satomura's last matches ever. It is Saori Ano, Natsupoi, and Aya Sakura versus Mako, Satomura, Mika Iwata, and Yuna.
This is the last
Um,
time Mako tag. It's her second to last, yes, match ever.
yeah,
So
I
this is her last tag with Mika
This
and
might be
Yuna.
controversial. I think Mako will put over Ano. Ever since losing to Hash, Mako's been a lot more uh, okay with taking pins, and I think Ano is seen as like a very big deal in the current scene. I mean, she is Oz champion. Sendai loves her. Stardom loves her. I think
Out of
her beating
anyone,
Mako would be very cool.
I think I'd be okay with Ano beating her.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
think
either that or
that'd
it's like
be
a Yuna over Aya thing for the Senjo Junior, which is a bit meh.
yeah. I mean, well, yeah, it depends because like this could be like a soft retirement match sort of thing, like or it could just be a match that Mako's in. Depends,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
because
true.
sometimes those are just like what the matches are. Uh, is that like, oh, Mako's making an appearance, just so happens to be wrestling.
Yeah, I know what you mean about the retirement thing. But I think Mako will be going for it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see it. It is also her last Yokohama Arena, obviously, so that's a big deal.
That's true. We then have the Sendai Girls World Championship. Chihiro Hashimoto defends against Maika. I know we're on
Wait,
different sides of the. What?
this isn't in order, right?
No,
Okay.
but maybe. But I doubt it.
There's no way that they put Hida and Rana over this. I imagine that might even open the show, if anything.
It could, unless they want maybe the Hoda Arena thing to open, because then You get like, oh my god, it's Yumiko Hoda to start the show. They might stream that on YouTube like they usually do.
Sauce.
Sauce.
I said saw.
Oh,
Sorry.
sauce.
Yeah,
All right.
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Chihiro's winning, bro. I don't know. I don't give a fuck what you said. Chihiro's
I just
taking the
feel
belt.
like Sendai needs to sell some shows, and the best way to do that would be a rematch. And they do kind of like that stuff. Like Starry and Hash will wrestle like 3 times in a row just to build something, and she's done it with Takumi as well. They had like 2 or 3 matches in a row.
Hmm.
So I think they will put Micah over here and then have Hashimoto win the belt back
Ever thought that
later.
maybe I just don't want that to happen?
That's on you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a me problem, I guess. Yeah, no, I don't know. I could see it
Yeah.
for sure,
Nothing's out of
but
the question anymore.
no, not at all.
Um, then we have the Future Stardom Championship. Hina takes on Rana Yagami. I'm actually very interested in this one because Hina, I think, deserves a run, but I'm also really into the idea of Rana with this belt. I think she could do
I
fun
think
stuff.
I think Rana makes as much sense as pretty much anybody to take it off of
Yeah.
Hina.
The only thing is they might not want her taking the belt and to catch the wave.
That's true. Um, though I mean, Catch the Wave usually I mean, Rana is probably gonna make it. It depends on what block she's in. Um, 'Cause if she's like in the future block, I could see her making it to like the final and then losing, and
Yeah.
then the winner challenges her, for example,
Oh, that'd be
um,
cool.
or something of that sort. Or you get what I mean. Mixed to semifinals, whatever. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I think Rana, like I said, has as good a chance as anybody to win it from Hina, especially since Aya has the Sendai belt and Sayaka Kurara has the ability to ruin the world. Um, I don't think either of them need it. I think Rana probably makes the most sense to start defending against the youngins.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah,
I also
I
think
would love to
Rana
see
has
Hina win,
the
but you know,
Yeah, I think Rana has the easier storylines because she has like a class around her of
yeah.
trainees, and then there's the class beneath her as well to kind of do. Whereas Hina obviously debuted in like 2018, so it's a bit different. There's none of her peers. Um, we then go on to the Goddess of Stardom Championship match. Hanan and Saida defend against Hazuki and Koguma. I think Wingori are going to win here. I think this is going to be their like big tag win.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I will say I think that there is a chance FWC wins here just because the company doesn't really care about the tag belts. Uh,
I
and I
think they
don't know
care
if they.
about Hanan though.
That's my point. I wonder if they care about Hanan and her immediate future more than the tag belts. Uh,
I
because
think they do.
she could be Wonder Champion by the end by like the 5 star. Uh, she can't really do that if she's tag champion until then. Um, she can, but you know what I mean. Like just when the not the MO. So I could see them kind of just being like, yeah, we don't really give a fuck, so just whatever here,
Yeah,
here, damn type gimmick for FWC. But I do expect Hanan to pin Hazuki, um, just because that's probably the world we live in now.
yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. That might be a match of the night, though, depending. Like, I feel like
Could be really great. Yeah.
yeah, like they're both excellent tag teams, and we obviously are big fans of tag team wrestling, so we're both gonna enjoy it
You
if
also
it's good.
know when somebody says, last time wasn't our best outing about like a really good match that their next match is gonna be fucking insane. Like Yuzuki versus Nanai. Like Yuzuki's like, that first show, it was a good match, but I
Mm,
couldn't I didn't cook as much as I could. And then they had a fucking banger this year. Ida has been saying that she kind of got eaten alive last year when they challenged FWC for the belts. So
yeah,
she's like, I'm going to make it an effort to like really make this something different. Which, if you remember, the match last year wasn't insane. Like it was good. It was very
yeah,
good, but it wasn't as great as FWC versus Wingori could be. Um, so yeah, I expect this to be. Ultimately, I expect it either be like legitimately great or it to kind of fall apart because there's just messiness involved. It just doesn't.
yeah.
They don't click for one reason or another.
All right. Well, I don't know. I think they could definitely pull it together, especially if Hazuki and Hanan shoot. That'll be fun. We get on then to the IWGP Women's Championship. Mai Iwatani defends against Syuri. These two in their last match finally found chemistry after having some pretty mundane world title matches, and I
I like their
expect
first
them.
world title match. I know you didn't because it was long, but I really liked that one.
It was all right. But their last one obviously was a bit of an instant
One of
classic.
the best Mayu singles ever.
Yes. And I'm interested to see how they go here. I feel like Mayu hasn't been Mayu in a little bit, but obviously she can switch it on whenever the hell she wants. But I do think this is where Suri wins the belt. I think they're moving to Suri Sari as the feud for this thing, as opposed to Mayu. And so I think Suri is going to win, and they might just have her dominate the match because Mayu kind of dominated the last match. So they might like flip it on its head here and have Suri be like, "Okay, I'm not fucking around this time. I'm going to kill you." I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I would be interested, and it would make sense.
Yeah. This is another
I
match of the night contender, by the way.
yeah, oh, obviously.
There's only like 5 of them, but these
That's
two
the
are
thing.
awesome.
I,
Obviously.
I talked about this match a bit to Scott, and I was like, Mayu feels like she's kind of in like that mode where she's like kind of like not trying to go too hard. And
Hmm.
Scott's like, yeah, but like even then, it's rare that she actually commits to not going hard. You know what I mean? Like even then, it's like, it's kind of hard for her to not go all out. So, this could be great, legitimately. And it could be the end.
Of her world title reign, yes.
Yeah, of a long ass world title reign, the
Yeah.
longest IWGP title reign in history. Do you know that?
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. In the governing body's history, it's the longest world title reign,
So
or
she
the
did have like 2
longest
years,
title
which
reign
isn't
ever.
very.
Yeah, not even world
Yeah.
title reign, longest title reign in IWGP history.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
so that's IC, that's US, that's anything. And the US was
Um.
on John Moxley for like forever because he couldn't get to Japan because of
Oh
COVID.
shit! Yeah.
So like the fact that she the fact that she outlasted that is kind of insane.
That's true. All right. We then go on to the Wonder of Stardom Championship match. Starlight Kid defends against Azumi in a match that also has the leadership of Neo Genesis unofficially on the line.
Mm.
Starlight Kid seemed like a very obvious one to retain here. Like they like her too much, I think, to have her drop after 3 months with only one defense to her name.
And also Zumi's
Um,
going over to America to challenge for the
she is.
strong.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense for Azumi to have a belt while going to lose the title match. And also she has wins over Sai Kamitani in her back pocket, so they might just run her versus Kamitani, and then she'd have to lose another one. So I don't see a point in putting the white belt on her to do that. She did kind of, for the first time, make me think she was winning, though. I know she did an interview with Tokyo Sports where she was like, I want to win the belt and I'm going to hunt a B. Um, which I think some people took to be Suzume, but I took to be B Priestley because they obviously have the Queen's Quest connection
Mhm.
there. Um, so that was the first time where I went, oh, Azumi might like get the belt. Like maybe Starlight Kid's shoulder or arm or whatever it is worse than expected, and they're gonna
Yeah.
switch, which is kind of what you had said about Momo. Um, so that was like the first time where I thought Azumi might have a chance of winning. But I think if Kid is okay to continue, I think Kid will just retain because I think they really want this
Yeah.
to be a big thing for Starlight Kid.
No, I tend to agree. I think also because the leadership of the group is on the
Yeah, like
line. It's
Kid
like
feels like the leader more so than Azumi.
fucking. I mean, if don't get me started on Azumi and leadership, bro. Um, we could have had it all, but I digress. Um, yeah. So I imagine Kid wins, but yeah, her shoulder is worrying. Her arm, I think it is just shoulder, is worrying. I hope that they know what they're doing.
Mm,
That's all I'll say on that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if all is well, then she probably retains.
yeah. Um, I wonder though. I do have interest in like how this match goes because we haven't seen a high-profile Kid Azumi match in a while, and the last time we were seeing them was for the high speed belt, and obviously, the Wonder of Stardom title has very different layout than the high speed belt. So I am interested to see how they make that work because they obviously can't do high speed for 20 minutes,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I
no,
could
they did.
definitely.
Those were their high speed matches were
Oh,
all 20 minutes. I think I think the problem is that they can't, like, they've beaten that style of their match to death. Um
yeah. But I just look at how Kid does her white belt matches and the
yeah.
finishing stretch to those. Like I've never seen Azumi have a match like that. I'm very interested to see if she can do it and if her style fits to that. Because obviously
Mm,
Kid does a lot of the big like flash pins and like big move near falls and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I'm kind of intrigued to see how they mesh together and how they adapt to the white belt from what they're used to doing.
Same. I hope I have high hopes for it. Azumi has never had a bad notable singles title match, really. Uh, outside of like the high speed run because she had 16 defenses altogether or something like
Mm,
that. So obviously there was a couple bad ones there. But like, all for Shuri. But then again, it's like who's she challenging? She's challenging Shuri, she's challenging um mainly Shuri, she's challenging Mayu. She's like these are good wrestlers. So and so is Kid. So point being, I am interested in what this ends up being, and what she ends up doing, but I do get what you mean that like, this is a first time for her. She hasn't really She's never challenged for the white belt, so we'll see
yeah.
how it goes if this all goes as swimmingly as I hope it does.
After that, then we have our main event, the big
Hmm.
one, the World of Stardom Championship match, complete decision, loser retirement, special rules match. The special rules being that there are no seconds allowed, the factions will not be allowed at ringside, which kind of eliminates the potential for interference, or so you would assume.
Hmm.
And obviously, the loser will retire, as Tam said, on the spot. Um, and at most logical thought is that Tam Nakano is losing. Saya is Wave World Champion. I doubt Wave is going to be okay with having their World Champion retire. Um, so that's a big one to me. But
Yeah, but who the
also,
fuck gives a fuck about Wave? Like, let's be frank.
Wave.
Like,
Wave does.
no, no, because they do you fucking Suzu was their champion once upon a time.
That's true. But still. Um, I
And
don't
she
know. I
said,
just,
"I'm no longer doing any dates," as she was world champion.
yeah, but
Um,
they had to do that because of injury, didn't they?
oh yeah, they pushed it onto her off
Yeah.
of Takase. No, Nozaki.
Yes, Nozaki.
Nozaki. It was her versus Takase. Yeah,
Yeah, because I think they wanted Nozaki back by Catch the Wave, but she had a setback, and so they had to go, oh shit, we need a new champion.
yeah.
Or was
And
that the
Nozaki was
next
like, you
year?
know what?
Can't
No,
remember.
that was right. That was right.
Yeah. And then
Um,
Nozaki bounced, so that was
or no,
fun.
maybe I think Nozaki got hurt during Catch the Wave, and
I cannot remember which one it
yeah,
was,
I'm not
but
remembering.
because she was out for a long time. That's
Yeah,
all I
and then
remember.
she quit the company.
Yes.
But point being, I don't take waves. Uh, I don't take wave injuries
Okay.
much at all.
But also, Saya Kamitani is red hot and their
Yeah,
biggest draw, and retiring her would be really silly.
yeah, no, okay. So my thinking on that front is that, and this would be like I would applaud them, frankly, if Saya decided, you know, last year she only wanted to wrestle for another year and a half, like after the arm injury. If she
Yeah.
said, I'm only going to wrestle for another year or two, and this was the divine plot to get the most out of a Yokohama Arena show, that is the most biggest brain thing I have ever seen. And Tam
Yeah.
wins, is what I'm saying. That would be legitimately like booking like the most incredible. Like that would be so big brain and so fascinating. Because I think that's something that people kind of forget. Some people just want to retire. Like some people don't want to wrestle until they're 40. Like damn.
Yeah.
You know,
But
like
I feel
like
like she hasn't
that's
really sold it enough though. Like I've never got the sense she's retiring. I know she did the Golden Gen three-way, but that didn't
I
feel
mean,
emotional at
I
all.
agree. I agree. And it's not like I'm saying that, oh, like she is retiring. Because it does feel like they've just kind of faked it with her.
Yeah.
Like they have made it feel so fake, like the idea that she could retire. Um, so that's where it's like, I doubt it. But I will say I could 100% see Tam winning here. I'd say
opinion.
I'd say I'd say I am 80-20 Saya,
Okay, yeah. No, I would agree with that.
but I
Because
would
you
say
never
there's still
know.
a strong
Yeah, you
20%
you never really
that
know with
that
Tam
Saya
Nakano.
loses. Because I mean, in a lot of ways, without the retirement on the line, Tam wins this story, wins this match of this story, if it
Yeah.
wasn't for the retirement. Because just functional, like functional wrestling 101, Tam overcomes and wins here. Like
Yeah.
that's what happens. Tam is the main character of the story. Micah is like, you know, over there. And Tam wins. Like that's what happens. Uh but with the retirement, like yeah, this is definitely uh it doesn't make much sense for Tam to win
Yeah.
and for Saya to retire.
I
Just because they
also
haven't put
feel
the
like
eggs in the row.
Tam for Tam to retire at this venue, I think would be very much something she deserves. You know, whether we like it or not, she's been one of the defining people for Joshi of the 2020s. She main evented like the biggest Joshi shows there has been in a long time. For her to retire at a venue that means so much to Joshi, like I said it earlier, this is our Tokyo Dome. But that's kind of true. Like, this venue has hosted some of the biggest women's matches in Japanese history. And so I think for Tam to retire at this venue would be very fitting. That's a big part of the reason why I've been convinced she's going to go, because she largely deserves this stage to go out on. Um,
Mm.
whereas I don't think Saya quite would deserve Yokohama Arena. Like maybe a Ota, like that would be more for
You're an
Saya.
asshole.
Where,
Fuck you.
well, she just hasn't been that yet. Maybe eventually, but like Tam Nakano, I think she deserves this kind of big
Which
send
is
off.
hilarious because one of these wrestlers has had like a company defining
Yeah, but
record
If
breaking
Saya does
title
like
reign.
3 more years as she is, then yes, I would agree. But
Yeah, and
Tam
this
as
is
of
me
now has
defending
longevity.
Sai Kamitani, which is funny. But no, like really, like I'm thinking about. I don't know.
Ota was
I
probably the
also think.
worst example. I meant like a 10K seater or like
I
a 5K
also
rather than Ota.
legitimately think that Sayaka Kurara, uh, deciding to save Saya because Tam already said I don't want to be saved. So I think her coming out to save Saya would be kind of the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Mm,
Because Saya never said don't save me. Saya wants to live however she wants to live.
I don't know. All I know is I will be on the edge of my seat.
Man, Travis Scott was the deciding factor of the WrestleMania main event for John Cena's last
Yeah.
WrestleMania. I
Yeah.
think Sayaka Carrara being the deciding factor for the outcome of this match, maybe not the outcome, but for what transpires afterwards, relatively not
I
that shocking. Not
I
that
personally
out there.
believe they got enough shit for going back on the Lose or Leave Stardom stip that Taro Okada had to be like, please don't get mad at us until Yokohama. I don't think they could get away with faking out this stipulation in this venue. I really don't think they could get away with it.
What do you
Like, I
think?
think you are
What do you
really
think Carrara's wish
you are
is?
begging to piss people off. I genuinely think she might ask for Cosmic Angels to disband. I think they're going to shake up the factions a lot over the next month because Suzu needs her own thing. EXV needs a new number 2
But why would you ask for like as Sayaka Carrara? Why would you ask for that?
because you could be like, oh, this is will always be Tam's group. This should not exist without Tam.
That's
Done.
I'm trying to think of a
Like, that is
way to say
peak
it that's
Tam
not offensive.
melodrama. She literally would do that.
I would call that gay, but that's like no, like gay
Well,
people
like
are above that. You know what I mean? Like I respect gay people way too much to ever even like
you
that's
have
you know what
to
I mean?
consider the
That
source
sounds
material
so
here.
lame.
Anything that happens after this match, including a wish, would have to be very Tam coded, and that is definitely something Tam would be like, yeah, you should totally do that. This is a bomb idea, man.
We're almost done. We're
Yeah,
almost done.
we're almost done. Obviously, look, we'll talk next week if Tam does lose and retires. We'll obviously talk a lot more about her and her legacy.
Mm.
She's a very pivotal wrestler. 'Cause she kind of came out of nowhere to be a pivotal wrestler. And we'll obviously talk about it because
Yeah.
like people who are newer don't realize she was just like babyface number 3 in Stars, who was kind of quirky for a long time, and then 2020 happened, and we lost 3 main eventers in the space of like 90 days, and it really
Three
opened up a
three ma-
spot.
three main eventers and Hazuki, who was like fighting for Tam's spot as like
And
the
Hatsuki,
next
actually, yeah. So there was like
upper mid card.
4 big departures that opened the door for people like her and Utami to kind of really get pushed to the top. And obviously Tam took that with both hands and has become the biggest star kind of in Joshi in
Mm.
some time. And obviously her and Saya are kind of neck and neck at the moment for that. And Saya's probably winning. I think she's kind of a better draw based on statistics than Tam. Um, but yeah, she did kind of come out of nowhere to be that big star, and it would be
But like,
interesting to talk about her.
Why is Saya learning to drive? Is it because she has a new venture that she's going off to?
She want to
Makes you
swerve
think.
when she drives. That's all.
Top rope, catch a vibe. Yeah. But makes you think. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
like I
I
said,
also
80-20.
predict this is like a bold prediction. Dave is going to go 5+ on this. He loves these two, and I think he will love the retirement step, and I think they will go peak melodrama and like big kickouts, and that is Dave bait. I think he's going 5+.
I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah. Also, didn't he give? Was Kandori Hokuto Yoko Arena? Because he gave that
It
5 too,
was
and it was probably because it was in Yoko Arena. So
the first one. Yeah.
yeah, so I think he might.
It was at Dream Slam. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Yoko Arena.
yeah. Show. If you've never watched Dream Slam, folks, watch Dream Slam.
Mandatory.
Mandatory viewing. But yeah, that is that show. That is Stardom. You know, we kind of flew through that, but a lot of it is just kind of forehead stuff
I
and
love how
just.
an hour and a half is flying through it for us
Well, we
these
flew to
days.
that show specifically. The rest of it was Mania Week.
Oh yeah.
There's so much. But obviously we'll be back the next week and we'll review all of
Yeah, I
that.
guess
And we
it's only been like an hour and 15. Like, yeah, wait,
yeah, it
damn.
has, yeah. And we will, discuss the impact of whoever loses that main event. And if it is Sam Nakano, we'll obviously get to have a bigger discussion on what she's meant to Joshi and how we're gonna feel about having
We
a
also
Stardom without
didn't
her.
really discuss the fact that like Stars is also probably breaking up here. Um,
See, I don't know if
regardless of what
Stars breaks
happens.
up or if they kick Hazuki out with Koguma. Um, like
But
I don't really know how that will go.
that's the two people left.
They would have 4. And then
Oh yeah, you're
Tabata
counting
15.
those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taba. Yeah,
Would count
Taba.
Momokogo, obviously.
Yeah,
Momokogo is
Momokogo ain't going
still
nowhere.
there. Yeah. She might not be on the card, but she's still there. But yeah, that's gonna be a big show, and I'm gonna have fun reviewing it next week.
Well,
I hate you. Anyway, it is time for Marigold. So Marigold
that it
didn't
is.
run over this past week because, as we said, they were meant to be in Vegas. Um, I want to double check. I'm pretty sure for Marigold wrestlers outside of Marigold, there is actually something that doesn't involve Nanai for once. But I want
Well,
to
there
make
is
sure.
also something that does. Mirai versus Nori finally came out.
You said Mirai.
The tape of it. What? Oh, Nanai. Sorry. Nanai versus Nori finally dropped.
Yep.
Even though that happened
Not that long ago, actually. In fairness,
Oh yeah, it
for
happened the 13th. It
LPW
happened the
standards,
13th.
yeah,
So yeah, and that was great. That was a really, really good match. Loved it.
I agree. It's on Shinobu Kandori's YouTube channel as well, not like an
Yes.
LPW one. Um, oh wait, this isn't Marigold. What am I talking about?
What's happening?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, Senka is on Sendai," and then I went, "Oh, that's the Marigold one," but no, it's not. There's no
I was
Marigold
very
wrestlers on the
confused.
Sendai show.
You brought that up that Senka was on a Sendai show. I was like, oh,
Dude,
I thought you meant like a Marigold
completely,
Sendai show, and I was like, wait,
I was
there is no
completely like,
Marigold Sendai
"Oh,
show.
that is relevant to our show," but I forgot Senka is not one of ours, sadly. So yeah, there is no Marigold involvement on that Meiko Satomura show, so I was completely off. As you can tell, I'm tired. I stayed up to watch WrestleMania Night 2, and it has completely thrown me
Mhm.
for a loop for days. So, we're having fun here, folks. Um, but as far as Marigold goes, they have 2 shows this coming week. I don't know which one is first, and I'm going to find
Corkin.
out.
Corkin is in
Okay,
2 days.
that's good. All right. Are they running Corgan the same day as Stardom? Theirs is on Thursday.
No, 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 no. Theirs is on Friday, the 25th. What day is the 25th? Stardom's on 24th, I think.
All right, so it's the day after.
Yeah, and even so, it would be morning and night because nighter.
Oh yeah, it's neither. Yeah, okay. But I thought they were on the same day there. I was like, oh my god, there's gonna be
If
a
they are, that's
war.
watching the Stardom wrestlers coming in with their suitcases as the Marigold wrestlers walk out with theirs.
um. Wow, they're running three
Need Hasi
shows.
on the scene. Need Hasi on the scene taking pictures of that
Yeah,
shit.
they're actually running three shows. Actually, technically four because they're running on the 29th as well. But I don't know if there's a card for all of these. Is there a card for
There's a
Osaka?
card for most of them. Yeah,
There
there's
is.
a card for
Okay.
Osaka.
All right. Well, we will preview all this then. So I don't think there's any news from Marigold. I don't think they've done anything. And if I forgot, that's on me. But we are going to preview the Corkin. This is on the
Oh,
25th of.
They had a presser. And Jungle
Oh,
is
yeah.
news, I think.
Yeah. Well, no, we can wrap that into the preview.
Okay.
Um. Oh, this is great. The website for Marigold has the schedule. And when you go into the schedule for the Corkin, it only loads 3 matches
Yeah,
and
the
not the
three
rest.
matches before the yeah.
Why does this company make everything so difficult? Like,
Well,
why?
Alex, when you go to dsfmarigold.com, it shows the opening show. It shows
That's
Miko
only
Aono
on
versus Naoya
Chrome.
Ishikawa.
Somehow they managed to make that only on one specific browser. I don't know if you knew that.
How?
If you don't use Chrome, that doesn't
Wait, no,
happen.
I'm on Opera GX.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought you could save it. But anyway, okay. Marigold, please fix some of your stuff. That's all I ask. So we have Hummingbird versus the returning Komomo Minami versus Nagisa Tachibana.
Rah,
Um,
let's go. Let's go.
I would imagine that's a win for Komomo Minami since she was being lined up for some big stuff before the injury.
Yeah, it definitely should be.
Yeah. Minami Yuki then takes on Riara, which is a win for Minami Yuki. They probably try and heat her and Komomo up for a match.
Yeah, yeah, no, because I think Gomomo's gonna be like, "Hey, I want my Rookie of the Year trophy, motherfucker."
Yeah. Chanyota, Arina Yamanaka, and Ryoko Sakamura take on Nagisa Nozaki, Megaton, and Gigaton. That's an interesting pairing. I would like
Yeah,
a full-time Chanyota, Arina, Ryoko trio. Um, that's probably a
they
win
have
for
the vibes, you know,
the do. I was gonna say
hot girl vibes.
Nagisa could beat Ryoko, but I think that will do is just do Chanyota or Arena over Giga or Mega.
Yeah, yeah, Giga and Mega don't win
No,
matches.
that's true. We then have the Twin Star Championship, Nanai Takashi and Seri Yamioka take on Chiaki and Misa Matsui.
And
Uh,
this also has a parent stipulation, like a soft
I've
one.
they haven't confirmed that, so I don't know if that was just Chiaki being a
So,
shithead.
okay, I imagine see, yeah, I imagine what the idea was. Like, I imagine what will happen because the stipulation, quote unquote, there's commotion behind me. I apologize. Um, the stipulation, quote unquote, is that Chiaki and Misa win, then the Passion family joins Darkness Revolution.
Hmm.
But if Misa and Misa and Chiaki lose, then the Passion family gets Megaton. Um, so I imagine what happens is the Passion family wins and say, "We don't fucking want Megaton. You have to stay there." And Chiaki shrugs her shoulders, walks away like she's in Arrested Development, all upset with Megaton following her behind.
Maybe
Like
I
I think that's
have.
probably like the gimmick is that it's like like ah fuck, we tried to get rid of her but we couldn't.
I have considered that they might actually do the switch and that Megaton would just take pins for Seri because they are gonna have to get ready for a world where Seri needs a pin eater.
See,
And
the problem with that and the fear that everybody should have is that Gigaton becomes Megaton. Like just like that
that's true.
Megaton
She
doesn't
is
do the
though.
gimmick as
That's
much.
already her.
No, but the thing is that Megaton would not be doing the comic, the like, uh,
She probably could.
the heel henchman gimmick. She wouldn't be doing that anymore, and
I don't know. I
Gigaton
think it
would
would be
be.
funny if she did, but with Sari, and Sari was like, "What are you doing? Stop that!" And
She
then just lost
Sari
titles
tries to
sometimes.
reform her.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We need more fun stuff going on. Um, I don't know. I could see a world where Chika and Matsui win just because I don't know what else you do with the Twin Star belts. I know there is a Cork and still in early May. And we had kind of pitched Iono and Mai Sakurai as potential successors, but they both seem busy. Miku Iono is leading the charge against Marvelous now. So
Yeah.
it's like, what do we do there?
Yeah, I mean,
And
it depends
like,
on the seriousness of the stipulation for sure, because
I don't think that was serious. I think the night was like, oh, they said they want to do that, but I don't think we need that.
like we don't agree to
I'm
those
bashing.
terms type thing.
Yeah,
Those in the
I think
contract.
like it would be nice if Marigold clarified stuff like that, but they don't.
Yeah.
So it's. Um, but yeah, I think that there's a chance Matsui gets the win because she's somebody Nanai has been attached with in Marigold, and I think Darkness Revolution will need a leader with Bozilla gone, and your most obvious choice is Misa Matsui. Now that could change if they are planning a successor or to like bring in somebody to replace Bozilla, but as of now, like there's nothing, and B
They should
Priestley
bring
still
in
has
Lana
her no.
Cross.
They should, but B Priestley still can't wrestle for like another month, so I don't see a point in waiting around. Um, so I don't know. I could see Misa getting a win and taking
I
the
mean,
belt.
I would be a fan of it. I would quite like it, in fact.
Yeah,
I think I like Chiaki and Misa as a tag team a lot. Um, so I'd be happy with it, but I just don't know if I see them going with that. I also don't know what they go with though, if unless they have Nanai retire with the belts.
it would be very bad, very silly.
I don't think it would necessarily be bad because then they could do a big tag tournament uh
But they
after
can't
her retirement.
because they have the Dream Star almost right after then.
No,
So
they don't. What are you talking about? The Dreamstar starts in like August, doesn't it? Like early
yeah,
August?
but if Nanai retires in May, they're gonna run a tag
Yeah.
tournament in June and then do the Dream
Mhm.
Star in August. That's a bit much.
Yep.
This is a
Not
very
really.
close window. Oh, I don't know. I think it would be a bit much.
You skipped a month. July exists.
It does, obviously, but it's still only like a month in between two tournaments. Like I don't know if that would be fun.
I also
But
don't.
anyway, I don't think they'll do it.
It would just be like a single eliminations
I think
tournament,
Rossi is
like I
smarter than
imagine.
that. I think you need somebody to beat these two, like to really get the most out of it. Otherwise, you're just kind of wasting your time.
I think
And I don't
Misa
think
over
yeah.
Nanai
Yes,
finally
yes,
would be ideal
that would be awesome.
because they've had like 6 passion injection matches over the past
They
year and a
have.
half.
That's why I was saying like Misa is one of the
No,
people who's been like
It's been three, but you
attached
know,
to Nanai the most. Like her and Yuzuki were like the two.
yeah.
So
I
I
would
would
really love, even if it's cheating, Misa to get the win here
yeah.
over Nanai.
All right. Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki take on Mirai and Mai Sakurai. This is a prove yourself match from Utami where Mirai is like, hey, I want the belt or I want a title shot. And Utami said no. Their exchanges in the pressers have been kind of good. Like, I think Mirai kind of being like very intense while Utami is kind of above it all is a better use of Utami. Like, she should be a bit above it all. And it works with Mirai. So I could see Mirai over Yuzuki and then her challenging, or they just do a 15-minute draw and they go to the title match.
I could see Mirai fucking pinning Utami, frankly.
Possibly. I don't know if they would do that again though. Didn't they do that to set up like two of her matches so far?
No, Bozilla
Sari beat her.
challenged before. That wasn't that was Sari.
Yeah, but
Utami was
you know what
challenging
I
Sari.
mean. Like that's still a setup they've already
Yeah,
done.
that Utami. But I also think there is a story to be told that Utami kind of autopilots in matches that aren't title matches, like from a kayfabe point of view.
Mm.
Even though she's usually better in them than some of her title matches, frankly. Uh, like her tag stuff is typically better than her single stuff. Um, but yeah, I think there's like that story to be told. I also think there's like this idea that Utami acts above it all when Mirai has just beaten her every time they've wrestled.
Oh yeah.
I think
Mm. Okay. But that doesn't include tags, does it?
no, not tags. No, because I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
I'm
I feel
trying,
like that would be a weird thing to pick up, but I don't know.
but just in general, I'm trying to remember. Okay, except for that one time, probably two times. It doesn't matter.
Except for that one time.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that there is a story to tell with Mirai proving herself by being like, yeah, I have your number. I'm gonna keep beating you until you give me a title shot and beat me.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, either way, I mean, I feel like they're just gonna set up a title match. There's no world where they go, yeah, no, actually, you stink. You're not getting one. So it's
Oh
all
yeah, they're
about the
one
match
and one.
quality.
They're 1-1. I could have swore they had a 5-star match, but I guess they didn't.
No, It's not.
Just
Yeah,
Dreamster.
that'll be very interesting. Also, you have the white belt champion on one side, so that does lead, then I guess, a bit more credence to that team winning and just beating Yuzuki.
Also possible, yeah.
What is currently being positioned then as the main event is Marigold versus Marvelous, the still as yet unspecified team competition knockout match.
Oh no, it's specified. It's gauntlet. It's not a gauntlet. It's a best of 5,
Right. And
and it'll be Kazuna starting and Shikagoto ending.
right, so they
She
switched it because it was
Yeah,
Iono as the captain, and
yeah,
then
but
Goto in the
Aono
ring.
was not at the presser, so
Okay.
Shikagoto's like, "Can I say something? I'm captain."
So
I call captain.
I guess what they're setting up there is Goto's going to lose to Takumi and
Yep.
cost the promotion, maybe? Because they've kind of been leaning into this Gochika is a loser who's an overhead thing. And so maybe
Yeah,
like
it's possible.
You do Iono Rico, which is something they like. You can
Yes.
have I, Hosan, Pin,
So
Rhea.
we actually figured this out in the Discord.
Okay.
It would be because Marigold is the only team that has kind of like been like, oh, I want this spot, whatever. It would be Kazuna over Sora because
Yeah,
that's the first match. Then Ihozan over Rhea
yeah,
because Ihozan wants a Superfly title match,
yeah.
so she could
That makes sense. Yeah,
kind of prove it
I'm
there.
with it.
Uh, and then between the uh the OG champs, Miku and Shozuki and Magenta, you can go either way. I would say
Hmm.
Maria over Shozuki and Miku over Rico
Can they
because
do
Maria.
draws? Are they like 10-minute
So
splits?
yes, they're 10 minutes.
Right.
So that's the alternative. Is yeah, that it would probably be still. Oh wait, no, because the thing is Maria's kind of being protected by by Marvelous right now.
Yeah, she challenged Takumi like 3 months ago, and they're gonna do that match eventually.
Yeah, but she's still semi. I mean, she hasn't really like taken a loss. Like
Yeah.
she's usually getting draws or Rico's losing for her. So I do kind of see Maria over Shozuki.
Suzuki, yeah.
Um,
That would make it 2-1 to Marvelous. Then a
and
draw
then
between
you
Iono
could do
and
Miku
Rico,
versus Rico being a draw.
and then
Um,
Chica loses it for them, and they go down
but
3-1.
that would mean that yeah, that fucking Marvelous gets like or Marigold gets swept like crazy.
Yeah, but that should be the point, right? Like, that's your war here is involving half of your losers. Like, this is not the strongest Marigold. Like, this should be Iono going, "Oh, shit, we need to really turn things around."
Mm.
Um So I could see that being the way. Like the only thing you could change is Shizuki over Maria and then doing it as a 2-2-1 draw. But I don't see a point in doing a draw
Well,
in the war.
there's another world. This is a world that people won't want to live in, uh, where it is, as I said, Kazuna over Sora,
Uh,
Ihozan over Rhea, and then double draw
yeah,
between Magenta and Shozuki and Aono, and then have Takumi over Chikugoto and
yeah,
Marvelous wins by 1. That could also work if we are doing the thing where Aono and Shozuki want to win the belts, which I think like
yeah.
we
I know
have always
Marvelous
kind
is
of seen
doing
that
a. What is he? Wait,
win the
yeah,
belts, or
Marvelous
they
is
could be in
doing a
that
tag
tournament
tournament in early
on the
Cork
5th.
and yeah, in
On the
early
5th,
May.
yeah.
So I guess you could have one of the Marigold duos enter that, but then that's not for the Marigold belts. Those belts
That's
are
true.
technically held by Oz because it's Kato and the Kato or Aquino.
It is.
Kato and
It's
Mizunami, isn't it?
Kato and Mizunami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
the team.
I guess you could do that, but I don't know. But either way, I think we've agreed Marvelous would win in some manner by Takumi
Yeah,
beating Goto.
yeah. That's what
Okay.
has to happen.
Because that's the way the story should go.
Because I
Chikugoto
also
gets called a
expect,
loser and costs them.
I kind of expect Miku to face Takumi at Shine Forever. Um, and that'd be
Hmm.
the big singles.
I guess if there's room, you're
There's
probably
definitely
then
room. I don't.
moving
What are
Koki
you
into a
looking for?
tag instead of a GHC.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know, I don't know what you expect from that show.
But it's gonna
Like it's
be
not like there's that
Utami
much.
Mirai Nanai is gonna have a singles. Yuzuki probably
Yep.
has a singles.
Yep.
Then you'd have
It's 3
possibly
matches.
2 more.
White
That's
belt.
5 singles. That's a lot
That's
for
4
Marigold.
singles, and then this one. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think Koki's defending the GHC. I agree with you on that. I
I
don't think
had
she's.
thought she would, but as the card
I
fills up,
think
I'm
she
less sure.
wanted to, but I think she shouldn't. Like,
Yeah.
if she's back by then, she shouldn't be in a singles match. She should be prepping for Monday Magic and for
Yeah.
Wrestle Magic, and defend it there. If she's even healthy by the time by that show, which is a month away,
Hmm.
um, if she's good to go, I wouldn't put her in a singles
Would you do Twin
title
Tower?
match. Twin Tower versus Magenta would be dope.
Oh, rock. Yeah.
It would.
Okay.
I don't think that's what they
Interesting.
would do. But you know, I think they're being like, I think Twin Tower kind of having a tentative return and kind of like winning, but Chica being like, "Hey, I still want your fucking belt, homegirl." I think that works.
That'd be cool. Yeah. All right. Well,
Excited for the show though.
yeah. No, I mean, just see how that main event pans out. I mean, it's a real like 3-match show, but those are 3 cool matches. So
And
I
hey,
can't really be upset.
I really like Komomo.
Yeah, no, it's
Like, I'm
cool to have
really
her
like,
back
so
as
I'm
well.
really excited to see her back. I hope she does well. And I've become a Hummingbird fan. I've become a believer.
Hey.
So that, and Tachibana is quite good for having like 5 matches under her belt. So
Yeah.
I also really like that triple threat opener.
You are the noted drone though, so I feel like
What?
that should be. You are the drone here.
Oh, the Mari drone. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that should be put out there. The Marigold website is loading very slowly, but the next show is Marigold Rising Spirit 2025
Oh,
in
I forgot
Osaka
there are more
17.
shows.
Yeah.
Shit, I closed out the tab. 1 second.
Oh, on the 26th of
Okay,
April
we're
in
good.
the Osaka 176 box. We start with Komomo Minami versus Riara, which is going to be a win for Komomo. Riara does not win.
Fuck yeah, come on,
Hummingbird and Flying Penguin versus Megaton and Gigaton. Who do they
This is
dislike
the
more,
match of all time.
Megaton or Flying Penguin?
Oof. Well, Flying Penguins won a match. She submitted someone
Mm,
with a Boston
right.
Crab that
Okay,
one
so
time.
they are going to win. The birds are going to win.
I think the bird should win.
Team Bird, right.
The flying,
Natsumi,
the Flyers, like
yes.
like Philly.
Natsumi Suzuki and Ryoko Sakamura versus Minami Yuki and Nagisa Tachibana.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but
Suzuki wins, but
yeah,
okay. She beats Tachibana.
that's a good one. Mai Sakurai, Miko Aono, and Chika Goto versus Nagisa Nozaki, Chiaki, and Misa Matsui. So could
Good,
be a win for
good match.
Mai and Iono.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
match though.
it is. Then Utami Hayashishita, Victoria Yuzuki, and Utami Hayashishita takes on. No, I said that already. Victoria Yuzuki and Kazuna Tanaka take on Mirai, Seri Amioka, and Rhea Seto.
Also a good match.
Yeah, it's probably Utami over Rhea, or one of them. Anyway,
This is like the perfect trios match because it has
it
like
is. The only
your.
problem is this is in Osaka, so that none of them are going to
Oh, and
wrestle
it's in the
properly.
box.
And the box, yeah.
It's not even like Edion 2 or something.
No.
That's rough. Yeah.
I hate that this is loading so slowly.
But just like lineup wise, it's like you have the 2 main eventers, you have the 2 up and
Is
comers,
it like
super flyers, and then
PixArt?
the 2
Jesus
anchors.
Christ. I was gonna say the pairing off of Chiaki versus Iono and Mai over the next few shows does lend some credibility to Chika and Matsui winning the belts and maybe defending against Iono and Mai.
Chiaki.
What?
We keep calling her Chica, and I think it's kind of funny.
I don't. I did not say that.
You said Chica. You said Chica and Matsui.
All right. Well, it's Chiaki and Matsui.
Yeah.
But either way, they're being paired up with Mai and Iono a good bit, which is intriguing.
You'd think by now
Anyway.
you'd have gotten sick of me correcting you every week over
No.
meaningless things.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier as the co-host to pick up on that. So, anyway, Marigold Rising Spirit in Chunichi Hall on the 27th of April, same day as Yokohama Arena. So we know which one Dylan will be watching. It is Hummingbird and Ryoko Sakamura versus Nagisa Tachibana and Riara. That's Hummingbird over Riara, surely.
They didn't put this one on Twitter, so I'm not seeing this one.
Did. But
They didn't put this like the undercard.
oh, that match.
Oh, okay. I found it.
Oh, what a company.
It's like it's forever. It's like
Yeah,
so
I know.
many tweets
I know.
away. Um,
Hummingbird over Riara.
Big
You agree?
HB. Yeah,
Yeah. This one is crazy. Seri Yamaoka versus Komomo Minami, just giving it away for free.
I
Oh
fucked with
wow.
that.
Yeah,
I
that's
fucked with that.
good. Seri should win, obviously.
Yeah,
Chikagoto and Yuki Minami versus Misa Matsui and Gigaton.
Gigaton.
Yeah, it's probably
Is Megaton not on any of these shows?
yeah, she is. The next match.
Where? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, did they take
She's
her
also
out
on the
already?
show the day before. They're literally teaming.
My brain broke. My bad.
Okay. That's probably Chica over Gigaton.
Don't know. Actually,
Yeah. I don't know.
this is tough. Yeah,
They
it's pretty
like
even.
Yuki Minami and Chica, but they don't like Gigaton, so I would imagine they win.
Well, they like Like, I, I
They
don't know.
don't like Gigaton.
They don't like Gigaton, but I don't think. I think she could probably beat Yuki Minami. I think she's probably like on
Mm,
par with Yuki
they
Minami.
like Yuki Minami though. Well, our next match is Kazuna Tanaka with Mikao Ono and Mai Sakurai taking on Nagisa Nozaki, Chiaki, and Megaton. So that's a win for the babyfaces.
That it is.
Then of Passion
Yeah.
Countdown, Nanai Takahashi and Jungle Kyona wrestle in a 5-minute exhibition match. And kind of Kyona, based on what she has said, has been like, "Oh, I'm going to do that match, and I'm going to announce kind of my future plans afterwards." We had thought she was going to be a one and done, or like a "Hey, I'm going to retire at the Hana show" type thing. But her recent promos or the interviews and kind of the way the roster has been reacting to her makes me think she's coming in maybe to like replace Nanai as that like part-time veteran because she basically
She's
built it
she's
with Utami
angling for like
right
6
off.
matches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like her and Utami were like, let's do it, let's fucking wrestle. She also wants us to face Yuzuki. So,
No, she likes Yuzuki. She thinks
oh, okay,
Yuzuki's the best
okay.
wrestler outside Nanai.
Like specifically, her
Um,
and Utami were like, let's fucking go, like let's do it, let's have
and
a match.
then uh Kiona soft challenged Koki. She said she wants the belt she
Right?
created.
Okay.
Because Jungle Kyona was the first person to ever say there should be a GHC women's belt.
Hmm.
Um, and then she said that she's never really wrestled with Mai Sakurai, but she thinks she's cool and would like to wrestle her as well. She's talked about all the champions.
Yeah.
Because
What a
she was
worker.
asked about the champions, and she was like,
I
I'll fucking wrestle
really
all of them."
Jungle Kyona, I did not know you had this kind of bag. I respect it. Yeah,
In fact, she's the only one. She said, out of all of them, I just don't want to wrestle with Tommy because she's fucking boring as shit. And Tommy's like, "The fuck did you say to me?" Uh,
all right.
real
Well,
shit.
I like
Real
that. I
shit.
like
Yeah.
the Utami stuff. But yeah, I think she's gonna do a part-time return. I'm starting to change my mind. Was it you who said that she was like her knee isn't actually as bad as it was last time?
So what happened, like what the status is that she went away in Stardom and
Yeah.
quit the company because she had knee problems. She
Yeah.
got surgery for those knee problems. I think she
Hmm.
got two surgeries. One of the surgeries was botched.
Yeah.
So when she came back, she was working on a botched knee surgery.
That was for Nomads, just for people to keep the
That
timeline.
was for Nomads, that was for America. Uh yeah, that's pretty much all she worked. Um and then after that, she fixed her botched knee surgery. So her knee now is better than it was when she wrestled like in AEW and
Right.
DPW and
Okay.
Nomads. It's still not great, like it's still in bad shape. Um, but it is better now than it was the last time she wrestled.
Okay. So there's more
Um,
of a chance that this is a thing than
yeah,
just a
and
one-off.
she also was like, the way I'm looking at it, I want to be like Keiji Muto, who was in a wheelchair until he stood up to make his entrance in his final matches.
Wow.
Like he got rolled up to the ramp and then walked into the ring. Like she was like, if I have to do that, that's what I want to do. That's she's like, I believe I'm
Jungle
capable of doing that
Kyona,
sort of
I
stuff.
really did not know you had this game. That is a massive babyface promo. What a babyface interview. Like
You
she
know, to
literally was like rallying the troops almost with how she was
call me a
like,
fucking drone, but Marigold fucking like saving her love for wrestling. 'Cause that was another thing about the interview. I know you didn't read it all the way through.
I was gonna
Um,
bring that up. I did see it. You can
she
take it.
uh she never she didn't watch a single match of wrestling while she wasn't wrestling. until Rossi was like, "Hey, you want to come to the Nagoya show for Marigold? We started this Marigold thing." And she was like, "Yeah, I guess. I mean, not really. Fucking hate wrestling. It kind of ruined my life." Uh, and she went. She was like, "Nah, this is dope. I can't I can't stay mad. I love this shit." So yeah, I mean, like Marigold really did resurrect a fire in her. And that's what led her to start getting treatments. None of them worked, but
Right.
that's what led her to be like, "No, I'm trying to come back." So
I think an
she's trying to
underrated
come back.
part in all of this is she could really only do this in Marigold because Stardom and her likely aren't on the best terms,
No,
considering Bushiroad refuses to help Kyoko's legal case against the TV company over Hana's
yeah,
passing.
Fuji.
And Jungle Kyona is one of her best friends. There is likely a lot of bad blood there. There's no Jungle Kyona part-time return to Stardom, I think, available.
No.
Marigold is really the only avenue where she could do this. So
She
I
was
do
also
think
never
that's
a
why she came back there.
she's also never a Bushiroad wrestler. Like I think people forget that.
Yeah, she quit right
She
as things changed
she was wrestling in that company as in the Bushiroad Rand company for
a couple months because they
9
had COVID
months
and then it came
altogether.
back
Yeah,
and
not
it was
even.
gone.
Yeah, she came back. She got her last match against Mayu, and then got hurt. Took a year off and then quit.
Yeah,
So it's not even like there's anybody in the company that she particularly uh, is going back to.
yeah,
Ida, like her and Ida are still really close, but like that's it. Pretty much like it's not like she's always been kind of loyal to Rossi. And I Mayu, I guess is the other one in Stardom that Jungle is close to.
yeah.
But like what I mean, like it's like really like when you think about it, there's no reason for her to go back to Stardom.
No,
Just
there's
wouldn't
not.
have made
So
sense.
yeah, I think the Marigold is the only place she could do this, and I think she could definitely replace Nanai's presence. I don't think she will be as good as Nanai,
Well,
obviously. I mean,
no,
Nanai is insane,
one of the
but I
best
think her
ever.
as just like the veteran gatekeeper is a very useful thing, especially because they don't have Buzilla now. They
Mm,
really do need another upper card wrestler, and so I think Kiona can definitely fill that spot on a part-time basis. So I hope this is good, and I hope that this is her gateway to coming back to wrestling because I do think her building a match with Utami makes me kind of go, okay, she's working. She's a real worker here. We're
mhm.
on to something.
I would really
Um,
love to see her come back. I would love to
yeah,
see her kind of get another shot. I don't expect her to be great.
no,
Um,
that's fair.
because again, she incited late stage Keiji Muto, who I like because he's a fucking badass. But from a technical standpoint,
Yeah,
wasn't good. So I don't expect like her to be a great worker.
no.
Because of how bad her
Hopefully
knees
she
are.
gets her old team back though, because that was a heater.
That
Probably not.
would
She
be
probably
awesome.
won't.
She won't, but
No.
it would be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll
Um,
see.
our main event then of the show is Utami Hayashishita and Victoria Yuzuki taking on Mirai and Rei Seto. That's going to be a win for Utami and Yuzuki. They also continue to show their hand because they're pairing up Utami and Mirai, and they currently are not meant
Beyond
to be
the
wrestling.
the decision match,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know if there's a card for this one. I think there is, but
there is.
this is next Tuesday, so
See
a
you
very
next
awkward one.
Tuesday, bitch.
It's on the 29th of April in Kanagawa, so that's fun.
That it is.
Is there only four? No, no, five matches. Okay, Hummingbird versus Riara in the opener. That's a win for the bird.
Fuck yeah.
Um, Ryoko Sakamura, Nagisa Tachibana, and Yuki Minami, the Gravura trio, is back together
Oh,
for the first
one
time.
one one note. None of these hummingbird matches are going to be good. I hope everybody knows that. I'm not like that's
No,
not what I'm trying
you're
to do
memeing.
by saying.
You are
Yeah,
memeing.
I mean, like I think she's great for getting beat up in like upper card matches,
Yeah,
but put her in a lower card match, she's gonna put in a low quality performance. That's what's gonna happen.
that's true. But the Gravura trio is back, and they take on Megaton, Gigaton, and Chiaki.
Yes, they do.
Sure
It
thing,
appears
man.
Chiaki has not escaped the tons.
No, poor girl. The next match, Mikari Ono, Natsumi Suzuki, and Chika Goto take on Kazuna Tanaka, Rei Sato, and
Oh,
Victoria Yuzuki. That's for a
yes.
win for
It's
Aono
we're looking at it in different order. Um,
somehow.
yeah, the older ones win.
Yeah. Chanyoda and Mai Sakurai take on Misa Matsui and Nagisa
That's what I was looking at.
Izaki.
I was like, ooh.
Dude, they have to be
ooh.
running Mai Sakurai versus Matsui and Jackie for the belts. She is against them
Or
on almost every show.
they're running Misa versus Mai Sakurai for the UN, for the natty.
That would rock, but
It would.
I think it's more likely to be tags. Shaki is
Yes,
in one or
but
two of them instead.
not saying, just saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Our main event then is
They could
Utami
also
Hashida.
give Chiaki and Misa the belts, and then have Mai Sakurai challenge, and then have Misa cheat to beat her, and then
Yeah,
set up a singles match. I think that could
that
also
would
work.
be cool. I would like
Yeah.
that. Would that mean Matsui
Like-
versus Mai at Glorious Celebration?
I would do that.
'Cause that's the
I mean,
timeline you're talking there.
it would keep the tag belts off of it, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but I would be a fan.
Okay. Our main event then, Utami Hashida and Komomo Minami versus Mirai and Seri Yamaoka. And that would be a win for Mirai and Seri, I would imagine. And they might do a cool promo after to be like, hey, Komomo, get on the level, bitch.
Where are we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to seeing how Komomo does
Yeah.
her first week back. I really hope it all goes off without a hitch. Because yeah, she was
Yeah.
really good right before she got hurt. So hope she
She
gets a
has
good
a
run.
lot of hype within the company.
Yes.
I know people have brought up like interviews where Mai Sakurai and the others are like, she's a demon in training. Like she's
Mm.
not even trying. I don't know what her story is, but she's a demon. So very interested to see if she unleashes the demon or if she does not. But that's Marigold. That's gonna be very difficult to review because a lot of that's gonna be on VOD. So I think we're gonna end up skipping a lot of it, but we will obviously review the Cork and in full unless the Stardom show ends up taking us 2 hours next week, which it won't. We don't really do that. So yeah, that's that for this week.
Yeah.
Last week in normality, because the world
Yeah.
may be on its fucking head next week.
Dawn of the last week.
Yeah, Tam Nakano possibly retiring, and if not, Sai Kamitani retires, which is an even bigger mindfuck. Maybe Mayu will finally drop the IWGP Women's Championship. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
What a world!
Yeah.
All
We will
right.
see.
Well, we've been with you long
And
enough.
Golden Week starts. Golden Week starts.
That is going to kill us both. Just putting that out
Wait,
there.
does Marigold not have? Wait, where are we?
I don't think they have cards, but they are
Oh yeah, they are.
running a good
Okay,
bit.
yeah. I see where it is now. Yeah.
Act City, Korakuen, the next day in Miyagi, the next day in Sendai, 4 days later in Osaka. Gifu, oh lord, they said press the Bushi Road button for the schedule for May.
Yeah. So actually, starting
Awful.
on for this Korakuen, from there they have what 4? They have 8 shows over the next 10 days.
Yeah, that's asking a lot of that
Not
roster,
10
man. I won't
days,
lie to
but
you. They do not have the roster for that shit. Like
over the
April,
next 12
May
days.
is
8
pretty.
matches in 12 days. Yeah, kind of
Yeah,
tough.
April into May is pretty ridiculous for them because May has a lot of shows as well. Like have Shine Forever, and
Yeah.
then they're running two more the next week, and they're running on the 18th. Like I don't know, it's
Yeah,
first
there
time
aren't really any weeks off for
No,
coming up. Like I think this last week was the last week off, and that was because it wasn't supposed to be.
yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to step up and sell more
Did
tickets.
you see
But
the video of the Marvelous girls at like 3 a.m. in their Airbnb watching the
yes,
presser on their phone?
yes,
It
that
was
was
so
fun.
funny.
I love wrestling.
Same.
You just got to chill like that. But yeah. Anyway, that is that for this week. We'll be back next week to preview or review all the chaos and preview some of the fun stuff from Golden Week. But there likely won't be much because Golden Week. Marigold has a Cork, and I don't know if that's in the window or not actually.
Uh,
Because they're on the 4th. Oh, it is on the
yeah,
window.
it
So we're
is
gonna have to
definitely in the
preview a
window.
Cork.
Yeah, we have
All right.
Corkin and we have the pit too. That's pretty cool. A lot of shit happening.
Yeah.
Big movements. Big
All
movements.
right.
We might briefly talk about Mako as well. Not like
I
because I
hope.
have my own show,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
little
I think I've
shout
waxed
out to
lyrical
Mako.
about Mako enough, but we can try.
That's true.
We can
We'll
try
see.
and fit her in. Anyway, with that, it is time to close the show. Unless Dylan has
Indeed.
any closing remarks. But I
Not
hope
at
you
all. I
don't.
gotta use the bathroom.
Okay. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Shine forever. Stardom Quest Gold. Ijo.
Ijo.